Creed. Creed is directed by Ryan Coogler and written and done all of this by Ryan Coogler and Sylvester Stallone. And essentially, this movie is centered around the unconceived child of Apollo from the beginning Rocky franchise. And in this movie, Creed, he basically grew up never knowing his father, never knowing who he was, or bothered with it, and that he kind of viewed it as a bit of a heavyweight to his own sake. And in his younger youth, he was in juvie, essentially, and he was taken in by his mom, of course. And eventually, he left his job and he left his mom so he can go to Philadelphia to track down a man who went up against his father, Apollo. Of course, he was trying to find out Rocky, who essentially trained, fought against, and was best friends with Apollo Creed, essentially. And he tracks him down for him to train him, and essentially to make it big as a boxer, essentially. And here's what I think of the Rocky franchise, in my opinion. I remember. I think it was either when the new Rocky movie was coming out in 2006 or 2007. I think it was around then when I was at my grandma's during that time, and I got to see all the Rocky movies that were being aired on TV, and I watched them all the way before the newest one was released. So I got to see all the Rocky movies in one afternoon. And here's what I think of I'll say the movies really, really quick. First one, excellent. One of the best of the decade of the 70s, essentially. One of the most classic stories of all time. It's a clear, perfect underdog story. And the second one to the fourth one, they're greatly good. They're very, very fun, but they're not great movies. I would definitely say that they're not great movies. But Rocky 2 through 4 are great fun movies. Fifth one sucked. That's really bad one. Rocky 6, fairly good. Not as good as 1 through 4, I'd say. But Balboa. And you may ask, what did I think of Creed? I fucking loved this film. I loved watching this film. I loved being on his shoulders all the way through, experiencing this journey, this uprise, this true underdog who's known from another protege of an underdog essentially, and it's really great to see that. Let's talk about what's good. No, scratch that. Let's talk about what's great in the movie. First things first, the acting. Holy shit, isn't excellent. The director, Ryan Coogler, he recently did Fruitvale Station, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is excellent. And that also starred Michael B. Jordan, so I can see how they pair again in this movie. Michael B. Jordan was excellent. He physically transformed himself. He gained a lot of great weight for the role. You really see him really dedicate a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into a role, and you really see him become Apollo Creed's son. In a way, you can kind of see that lineage, and he just embraces the role greatly. You believe this charismatic, likable. Well, he's very much charismatic and likable and cool, but he's also really tough and really grounded and very, very serious when he needs to be. So I'd say he's a really great, really great main character, and I think the performance really sells it, and the character for its own sake may be simple, but the actor really makes it great. He really, really makes it wonderful. And of course, Sylvester Stallone, one of my favorite actors, just kills it in this movie. A lot of people are saying he should get nominated for it, and I kind of reward on the side. He really should. He's friggin' excellent. It's probably his best role, in my opinion, since the last Rambo movie, which would have been 2007 or 2008. Who knows? But I thought they were both excellent. He played his role really, really greatly. It's like he took over the position that Mickey played in the original Rocky movies, as a wise old man behind with him, who's lifting them the way through. I think, and also the way they bounce off each other is fantastic. I believed every second they were with each other. They had great chemistry. I loved it. They were phenomenal together. And the girl who Michael B. Jordan, who Creed comes across, played by Teresa Thompson. She's also excellent. She's fantastic. I'll just simply say, all the actors in this movie do a fantastic job, and I believe them all. They were all phenomenal in my opinion, and I love them so much. The cinematography, the way they shot Philadelphia, felt very. There's the thing I'll say about this movie, and I know again, like I said in my review, Macbeth is overused, but there's a lot of grit and realism with it. The way it's shot with intimacy and good focus and some great wide shots are excellent. It really gives you the feeling of the main streets within Philadelphia. You get the feeling you're in Philadelphia. You really do feel like it, and it's excellent how they shoot it. The cinematography is simply excellent. It's really great. And also, I love how the first fight that they have in this movie is done in one entire literal take, and it's really great. And that's the thing about this movie, is that it keeps the fights just very much on edge, and you always feel the great intimacy. You feel the urgency. You feel the fury. You really do feel the fury and the rage within the fight, and you can really see the blood and the sweat really clash together, and it makes you feel for the fights. And whenever your main character, Creed, who you're supposed to relate to in this movie, whenever he gets knocked down, you feel like he really sells, not only because the performance is great, but the way we sympathize with the character, the way we grow with the character as the film goes along is excellent. To see this shades of gray uncovered is beautiful, and the performance really does sell it and brings a tear to your eye. It almost brought a tear to my eye, and it's just done beautifully. The music is excellent. It's not really a big spoiler, but in the last round, they played the main Rocky music, which I thought was a perfect mix. And it felt like they were leeching off on the Rocky movies, but they were paying tribute and homage to them while still being his own thing. Just like with Apollo. I mean, that's like what Creed does. He wants to be like a bit of a tribute to his father, but he doesn't want to be like him. He doesn't want to be his shadow. He wants to stand out. And this is a real power showing of him living in the shadow of someone who's maybe greater than him, but how to represent your own side of it, how to become your own little self-made person, and make it big, make a big impact in your town or something like that. It's literally a story of being self-made and having a simple background, but succeeding in what you want to do. And even if you don't win in the end, which I won't spoil, that's a good hint though, or sharp, is that there's a great message in this movie, in my opinion, is that it doesn't matter where you come from, it's the journey that you really go through to. It's not winning or succeeding at what you want to do, it's the journey you go through. And even if you don't get the end that you want, it's the power, it's the passion, and it's the love that is truly undeniable, and you will fight every way of it. And the film, in my opinion, perfectly complements that self-made feeling, but also the underdog tone, and I'm trying to fix not my past, but the past of my family. And it's almost like the whole knight chivalry thing going through it is like, I want to bring honor and loyalty to my father and pay tribute to him. I don't want to disappoint him, even though he's not with us anymore. And it's a very powerful feeling, and I often do feel like that, because there's one thing that I love, that I do really take seriously, is my lineage. I love and I've great passion for where I've come from and my ancestors and where they came from, and I can really feel that with Creed and his connection to his father is like paying a tribute and paying a homage, but also telling him is like, hey, I don't have to be like you. I want to stand on my own. I want to make a future for myself. And I think that's a very, very powerful message. And the way this film is it's just excellent. It simply is just excellent. It's an astounding film and one of the best movies I will literally say all year. And I know I've been saying that fairly recently, like with Macbeth and Steve Jobs and movies, but really this movie is fantastic. It's one of the top. At this point, I would literally say top 5 at least. It's just an excellent film. I loved watching this movie. Even the scenes that are kind of slow, you feel the characters, you feel the growth of them, you feel them evolve, and you feel like you're on their shoulders on the way through. You believe the chemistry, you believe the romance and really the bonding between everyone. It really just sells it all the way through. From a technical standpoint, this is an almost flawless film. The editing, the production value, the way it's shot, edited, acted, all that is almost, to me, perfect. And it doesn't mean, in my opinion, the movie is perfect or not. It isn't. I do think there's a little bit of slow moments, and while the intrigue is still there, you still kind of feel like, okay, nothing monumental is happening. No, granted, I don't expect every second to be like that, but there's some moments where it is slow, and it does allow you to catch your breath, and the characters do that too, and I really do feel that journey with it. But I will say, in my opinion, the movie is a bit slow at times, and I will say, I would say probably the first 10 minutes is a bit hard to get through. It's like you kind of know the beats. The film is not predictable, but the beginning you can kind of tell where it's kind of going. It's like, okay, I know where he's gonna track down Rocky, and he's someone is kind of all mentioned to the parents. Like, there's some tropes, I will say, in this movie that you kind of do see coming, but they're done in such a passion, and they're not really passion, but they're done with so much heart and gratitude and strength that you can't help but really admire and pay respect to in the film. And that's a little nitpick, you know. It's a little bit slow at times, and the first 10 minutes do feel a bit redundant. But aside from that, the movie is excellent. It's one of the most memorable and immaculate films I've seen all year. I genuinely love Creed. It's an immense power ride, and I effing love the film for that. It's monumental. You feel the journey, and an excellent adventure. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I had to say that. I'm sorry. But this movie is just awesome, and I'm gonna give even the villain or the person who's going up against, you can kind of feel. It wasn't like a paper cut villain. You can kind of feel for the villain and the person who's going up against in a way, and that was well done as well. So for me, I'm gonna give this movie the appropriate rating of a 94. I'm going to give this movie a 94%. That's my rating for this movie, everyone. I really do hope you enjoy it, and I would highly, highly freaking recommend seeing Creed, because I know I will be seeing it for a second time. I thought this movie was excellent. Nothing more to say than just thank you everyone for watching this video as always, and I'll see you in the future for more videos as always. Click like and subscribe down below, and yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the future. Bye.